Welcome to the Fantasy Thinker. I'm Jared Quartermatch, and today we have a new episode of Reading the Prose. This will be number 8, right? And so today I'm going to talk about a small passage from Salmon Rushdie'S The Satanic Verses, and it's non-spoiler because it's just a short passage right in the middle of the book. It's not going to give anything away per se, but what I want to talk about is how writers use writing to convey ideas. And basically, this passage is about writers using writers to convey ideas. So you see how that goes together, how Rushdie did that there. So let me read this short passage so you can see what I'm talking about here. uh, Jumpy, en route to his mistress, tried to convince himself that his resentments of Hanif, his friend Hanif, were primarily, how to put it, linguistic. Hanif was in perfect control of the languages that mattered: sociological, socialistic, black radical, anti-racist, demagogic, oratorical, sermonic, the vocabularies of power. But you bastard, you rummage in my drawers and laugh at my stupid poems. The real language problem: how to bend it, shape it, how to let it be our freedom, how to repossess its poisoned wells, how to master the river of words, of time, of blood. About all you haven't got a clue. How hard that struggle, how inevitable the defeat. Nobody's going to elect me to anything. No power base, no constituency, just a battle with words. Michal Sufyan was quite something, an elongated, tubular beauty, but he wouldn't have known how, even if he'd thought of, he'd never have dared. Language is courage, the ability to conceive a thought, to speak it, and by doing so, to make it true. Now, I thought that was a very interesting passage where I think Rushdie is trying to convey, um, some of the things that he wants to put down on paper um, may be, a brave act. And in light of the controversy around this book and the recent threats on his life, um, I think he's speaking true there. Um, and it's kind of poetic, and maybe in a future review for this book, we'll deal a bit more with that, the elephant in the room about the whole death threats against him and stuff like that. But for now, we have um, Rushdie using language to convey the problems about using language. This character, Jumpy, it's kind of a funny name, right? Um, he has a mistress, but he also resents this friend of his who just seems to get maybe a better lover or mistress or something like that. And he's like, he resents the fact that his friend Hanif can use language in speech, in everyday speech, in conveying what he means by just talking and by using vocabulary. The vocabulary is a power, and having complete control of all that, those the language and the words that a writer would want to use, but for some reason Jumpy has a problem using those. And I love how he just conveys that sense of Hanif's control of language, by being able to talk to people rather than having to write it down. And so, he I think Jumpy's viewpoints in this passage are stronger with the italics. Those are really the italics in here. Rushdie uses these italics to really enforce what's going on in Jumpy's head, because, like Jumpy says, he rummaged through his drawers to look at his poems and stuff like that. And so this guy, his friend, is laughing at Jumpy's use of language, while at the same time using language to his advantage in life. And so that's the ironic twist there. And so, um, and Jumpy points out that no matter how he uses language, nobody's going to, give him time of day, basically elect him to anything, no constituency. And he has a battle with words, whereas um, his friend Hanif, um, doesn't have that battle. His friend Hanif has it through this perfect control of language that mattered. Um, and it's all this stuff that Hanif can do without the agonizing, you know, struggle, that inevitable defeat that Jumpy has with words. So it was, you got this small paragraph that's written in this kind of stream of consciousness type um, format, where the writer writes down all his thoughts in these rambling sentences that go on and on and on with tons of commas and punctuation and what have you, um, which is an effective method of getting across a whole bunch of thoughts at once, the chaotic thought process of a character's point of view, which everybody has these chaotic kind of thought processes in real life. They think about one thing, and the brain works funny ways to relate it to other things, and that's kind of what the stream of consciousness narrative tends to put forth, a la Jack Kerouac, and On the Road way back when. And so um, this is a good example of one character's stream of consciousness thought process splurted out in a quick paragraph with run-on sentences with words popping in and out to show the chaos that's going through his mind, and the contrast between him and his friend Hanif, as the contrast that they have with their relationships with other people. And the last line is so reflective of Salmon Rushdie's career and plight, really, that language is courage, and that ability to conceive a thought, to speak it, and by doing so to make it true. That is something, an ability that not everybody has. And some people have to struggle with the way they form their thoughts and form their words. And to some people, it just comes naturally. Um, so I thought that was a very powerful statement. I really liked it a lot, and I just wanted to, point that out as a means of reading the prose. And so I hope you like that little example. If you do, please like and subscribe below, and be good to each other.